Houshou Marine, the world's largest active Vtuber. This is her childhood dream.
絶対おっぱい大きくなるという目標がねずっとありましたので子供
You're in for a ride. Despite where she stands today, Marine, or Senchou as we call her, grew up in poverty. Her family so poor that she remembers not being able to afford snacks like chips and could only buy bread rolls. Her apartment was so run down and in the middle of nowhere that they'd be infested with insects. And even as a child, she lived so hungry that one time she tried eating the Street Fighter paper manual. Even McDonald's was too expensive for their family. The details of her full family are unclear, but she mentions not having a mother, growing up with just her sister and father. Even so, her dad seemed to do an amazing job because even under these harsh conditions, she had never once considered herself to be unlucky or unhappy. And we see in clips that to this day, she is very close to both of them, with insane stories like her dad seducing her previous boss, messaging her like a classic Oji-san. But anyway, most likely due to poverty, Senchou never went to university and directly entered the workforce right after high school. And if you know anything about Japan's work culture, then you may have heard of black companies. Companies that overwork the hell out of employees with little compensation and are in legal gray areas. Marine unfortunately worked in one, perhaps not knowing, perhaps having no choice, and it was brutal. She has memories of working overtime past midnight, not being able to take time off even when she got the flu or got injured. And one time, instead of a performance bonus, they gave her Mandarin oranges as a bonus. Except the Mandarin oranges were rotting. The breaking point was when the CEO called everyone in her department in for a meeting and called everyone replaceable, saying anyone could do their work. See, the reason Marine stayed at the company for so long was because even under those conditions, she still had a sense of purpose. People in her department called her essential to the company's functioning. But after that line from the CEO, she was done. Marine resigned and never looked back. Perhaps it's somehow due to this asshole CEO that we have Senchou today. Senchou applied for hololive, quoting that she wanted a platform to use her diverse skill set and VTubing would be perfect for that. She specifically chose hololive, being fans of Fubuki and Minato Aqua. Successfully passing the audition, she debuted as Houshou Marine in 2019 August and never looked back. Despite her reputation today, Marine was understandably very nervous on her debut stream, still trying to act cute and idol-like.
ですねそう私船長なんですけども
But that all went out the window with Yago's dreams very soon. Marine was known for being horny. Seriously, Marine is probably the one that talks about sex and sexual topics by far the most in hololive. Like, it's literally become a part of her identity. Her music is horny, her streams are horny, and she even achieved her childhood dreams of growing big boobs. Yet somehow, Marine has this amazing dynamic with her chat, where it's almost as if chat doesn't want to lust for Marine because Marine is so desperate literally asking for it, or sarcastically asking if they want it. It's usually the opposite dynamic with Vtubers, where the fans are lusting over the pretend-to-be girlfriend Vtuber. So Marine's unique position with her fans makes the banter so funny to watch. Obviously, the banter is all sarcasm, but I think it reflects one of Marine's greatest strengths, talking. See, one of Marine's old jobs was customer service, and that combined with toxic corporate culture really made her a good yapper. She talks so fast, even Japanese listeners sometimes struggle to keep up with her. But more than that, she's just a natural at entertaining. She's the clown when she needs to be. She doubles down on things if she believes and scolds chat, which they seem to enjoy. But beyond that charisma also lies insane creativity. Like, just look at her content. Yago memes, censored, engaging with the English community, memes.
The DNA of the soul.
I swear, she is clip farm material. And the amount of collabs with not just her genmates, but other big VTubers, including Niji-sanji, she did, yeah, she was blowing up and she fully deserved it. She worked so hard. As her income presumably blew the hell up, Senchou started looking for a better place to live in because she was still living in that rundown poverty apartment. She was literally streaming in a cramped room crouching. But this house search turned out to be a disaster. Only about 2 to 3 months after after debut, Senchou started house searching, and after some vetting, she thought she found a decent place and planned to move in January 2020. She had completed all the torturous Japanese paperwork bureaucracy procedures and even had a moving company arranged, plus line installations for better internet at her new place, something now essential to her career. But suddenly, randomly, the landlord of the new place refused the internet line installation, meaning Senchou suddenly had to find a new place. On a timer too, since she had already informed the old place of a specific move-out date, less than a month later in February. Keep in mind, this was all going on when there was a pretty big hololive concert she had to perform in coming up. Both Senchou and the house agency in a panic, they somehow managed to find a new place and planned to move on February 10th. But on the morning of February 10th, Marine had to wake up at 5:30 a.m. for the move, and after taking her final shower at the old apartment, found the drain clogged and was charged for it. The final morning, bro. And then, when she finally got to her new place, Senchou arrived to find that the key to the front door would not open, leaving her having to wait at the front door for an hour, exhausted, before management finally came to help. And when she finally got into the apartment, she found that the internet lines hadn't even been installed, despite the promises of a very strong internet connection. She tried streaming with her mobile data, but it was abysmal connection speed, so she gave up and just rented a studio for streaming for the time being. This moving was literally anything that could go wrong went wrong. Despite all this chaos, Senchou never stopped creating top quality content and streams, her channel exponentially growing. With the viral release of her first original song, Ahoy! In June 2020, Senchou reached 1 million subscribers in 2021 January, just 1.5 years after debut, and the 6th member in hololive to achieve this milestone. Just a look at any of her streams is enough to tell you how engaged her chat is with her antics, and what a natural entertainer she was. Unfortunately, here is when another few hiccups along the way would form. For obvious reasons, Senchou's channel was always fighting with demonetization, but in July, YouTube randomly decided to ban her entire channel. Like, entire channel randomly terminated. Had the lewdness finally gone too far for YouTube? Fans questioned. But a click on her channel showed that it was terminated for fraud, spam, and misleading content by YouTube's automatic AI system. I swear YouTube needs to fucking stop doing this. Thankfully, YouTube quickly checked and confirmed it was a false positive, restoring her channel. Probably because she was a big channel under a company. But then just a month later, because Senchou yaps so much on stream and was unconsciously trying to use that cutesy voice, Senchou announced that she would be severely decreasing the frequency of streams as she was suffering from pretty bad throat strain. But this reduction didn't help much because in September, doctors found not just vocal cord nodules, but even internal bleeding in her vocal cords, forcing her to take a break. She came back a little over a month later, focusing on voice therapy, and since then, she seems to have been more careful and hasn't had huge throat issues since then. You know, you see Senchou's clips and streams and thumbnails and you think, wow, that's a crazy ass girl. And then I do research for this video, hearing everything she's been through, and I'm like, wow, that's a crazy ass backstory. But I feel like that's shaped why Senchou has become so popular and the way she is. While batshit crazy, horny, memeable, clippable on the outside, even multi-talented, good at both singing and drawing, if you stay for her yapping and talking streams, or pay attention to some small moments, you can really tell that she is mature on the inside. As a person, she gives amazing life advice based on her torturous corporate life, and especially during collabs, you can tell how she secretly takes care of everyone's emotions, how she pivots if she senses someone start to feel uncomfortable. Hell, I think the fact that an extrovert like her managed to adopt the notoriously socially anxious Aquatan and build a genuine relationship upon that says a lot about her people skills. Her unhinged streams with Coco, her cheating with Russia. Even despite everything she's been through, she still is able to form these genuine bonds with her co-workers. No, not co-workers, friends. Many may love her for her crazy entertainment, but I think the secret behind her success is compassion for both people and her VTubing career. The way she cares for both her fellow VTubers and fans. The way she spends God knows how much money on her music MVs. They have more frames than entire seasons of anime combined. No, seriously, I have to shield this a bit. The MVs look insane. insane. They deserve all the views they get. It's like a trademark Senchou thing. Throw an ungodly amount of money to make the highest quality MVs possible. She could save the money, but no, she just throws everything. Besides that, she's not afraid to just yap about things, opinions. She folds or fights back when she wants, banters with chat. It's just, you can tell Senchou loves VTubing. You can tell that she is just a person. It's not all sunshines, even in this job. She's talked about being depressed before, although she didn't deep dive as she didn't want to bring the stream's mood down. But after that, she literally gets back up and just forgets why she was even depressed. Hell, she herself said that despite how good of a job she has at hololive, it's actually more stressful than her toxic corporate life because at her old job, she just had to repeat what she did every day. She didn't have to think about what to do. Unlike being a VTuber where you really have to think creatively on what you want to do. And given all the shit she's been through, Senchou's positivity is impressive. Growing up in poverty, being exploited in a black company, I can't believe she still has the positive and humble attitude given where she is today. But maybe this is an important lesson to learn. Stay positive, stay compassionate, and just be a good person. In 2024, Marine held her first ever solo live in front of an audience of 40,000. And last year, she became the second VTuber in history to hit 4 million subscribers. Since Gao Gura has graduated, Marine has effectively become the #1 active VTuber in the world and directly told Yago, the CEO, that she is aiming for 5 million. Her story from poverty to exploited employee to #1 in the world is seriously inspiring. I'm so glad Senchou found her calling. I hope Senchou continues to be Senchou, and I hope that we can all learn to be more positive and compassionate like her. Special thanks to Vicente Pagani and all my other patrons and members for supporting the channel.